Okay, so to continue our coverage over the Dawn of X era of X-Men comics, we actually pick up with Giant Size X-Men Magneto. Now this makes sense. And the reason why, because when Jonathan Hickman took over the X-Men, and matter of fact, at the very beginning of House of X and Power of X, we have Magneto as a way to show us what is going to be the new direction for X-Men comics, as he was talking to different people who represent different countries around the world. But of course, it was Jonathan Hickman using Magneto because he is the X-Men #1 bad guy. Like, yes, you have Apocalypse, you do have Mr. Sinister, other popular characters. But when X-Men first came out, it was Magneto who was the first bad guy the X-Men fought, and the bad guy who gave the X-Men a lot of problems over the years. But of course now he is a good guy and he's helping out COPPA grow as a nation. Now, the reason why we pick up with Magneto at the very beginning of this book is because right now, it's his book, but reason why is because he's on an island. Now, the reason why he's on this island is for a particular reason, and that reason is he wants to purchase this island. And so, of course, you do have an elder fellow come by and say, hey, I can see that you're very interested in this island. I do know the owner. I can ask him to come see you, but it will take some time before he arrives. And of course, you have Magneto say, it's all right, I can wait. Go ahead and give him a call because I do want to purchase this island. Now that leaves us with two questions. One, what in the world does Magneto want from this island? And two, who owns this island? Now we do jump back in time and we actually do pick up with Magneto being invited to have dinner with no other than Emma Frost. Now this is kind of interesting because these two characters were both bad guys of the X-Men, but both have turned over to the good side. Now, with that being said though, the reason why they're having this dinner is because it's Emma Frost coming to Magneto asking for help. Because she says after watching the Hellfire Club grow and have some form of success, on top of that watching the humans as well, it gave her an idea. Now we have no idea what is her idea, but of course apparently after a couple months or a few months being on COPPA, running the Hellfire Club and watching humans, she got an idea. But for her idea to grow, she needs an island. And so this is her asking Magneto, can you find me an island? And of course we know he did. Now we do jump back over to the present day where we pick up with Magneto right now still waiting on the island. And of course he's been waiting for a good period of time. Now this person who owns the island does not care if he wastes Magneto's time. He will make Magneto wait. But either way though, you do have the same guy who told Magneto earlier that he'll go find the owner, come back over to Magneto to tell him, hey man, listen, I gave him a call and he told me he will get here when he gets here. But of course, he does not mind wasting your time. And so you have Magneto kind of like, okay, I guess I saw that coming before I got here, so I'll still wait for him, and I'll wait as long as I need to before I have to leave. But of course, I do want to purchase this island. And again, we still have no idea who the owner is. Now, we do kind of find out who owns this island, and of course, it's no other than Namor himself, the person who is the king of Atlantis. Now, this is kind of interesting because you have both men here show that they really do not like each other that much, because as soon as Namor arrives to the island, he tells Magneto like, it's just you. When I got a call from my friend who told me that somebody was interested in buying my island, I assumed it was someone special. But of course, when I arrived, it's just you. Now for Magneto, he's kind of like, yeah, listen man, I waited for you and I did not like that. So I'm letting you know in my own words, next time, don't make me wait. And Namor knows that Magneto is upset that he had to wait. And you have Namor point out that he is a king of Atlantis. He has things to do besides be up here to make a deal on an island. But as soon as Magneto mentions Emma Frost, Namor's all like, well, hold up. Emma Frost wants this island? Okay, you know what? Deal. But before we do that, you must help me first, and then I'll give my island over to you. Now, of course, we do see Magneto and Namor go underwater. Now, the reason why they're going underwater and reason why Namor is asking for Magneto's help is because Namor said he did send a scout team out here in this area because there was a lot of seismic activity, but that team never came back. And so now it's Namor and Magneto trying to learn what happened to that team. Now, when they go to the last location of that scout team, they find some kind of seal. Now, this seal apparently was made by the old kings of Atlantis, or one of the many old kings of Atlantis. But either way, the reason why Namor wanted Magneto here is because that seal is made out of metal, and with it being made out of metal, that means Magneto can use his powers as a way to break open the seal to see what is behind that seal. And of course, as soon as they open up the seal, that is the moment they are attacked by a Kraken. And with that, you have Namor and Magneto must work together to actually save their lives, but to actually also defeat this Kraken. Because if this Kraken is able to defeat both Namor and Magneto, it will continue its path down the road and cause more destruction in the ocean and possibly the surface world as well. But of course, with this book being like the halfway point, of course, Marvel wants to move on to the actual point of this whole storyline. So Magneto and Namor are able to deal with this Kraken and then finally see what was hiding behind the seal that Magneto broke open earlier. Now, you do have Magneto and Namor continue to go deeper into the tunnel. And of course, when they finally reach a certain room after going in that tunnel, they are confronted by 3 sirens. Now, these 3 sirens don't really have a particular name for them, but either way, these 3 sirens do tell Namor that his scout team, they were down here, but of course, they were killed. And so with that, the sirens say, listen, we offer you 2 items. These 2 items, now you must choose one of these 2 items. If you choose the wrong one, you will die like your scout team did. But if you choose correctly, well then you'll be able to leave. And you'll get a key as well. Now, Namor thinks he knows which item to choose because, of course, each item has a particular symbol behind it. And so you have Namor choose one of the items, but of course, that was incorrect. That symbol began the process of actually attacking Namor to the point he really can't do much. And so now it comes down to Magneto to choose. But then you have Magneto say, listen, I'm not going to choose the other option. Matter of fact, I'm going to choose the third option because one is so obvious. You will give us 2 options, but of course, if we choose either one of those 2 options, we would die. And of course, there is a third pillar behind you, which means there was a third option, and that third option is the correct one. And as soon as he says that, the sirens begin to die. Everything around them begins to crumble because Magneto chose correctly. Now, of course, after doing that, they gave him a key, and they do warn him and Namor, do you know what you just have done? Also, do you know what that key unlocks? But of course, we will not find out at this moment right now in this video. Now, of course, we do see Magneto go ahead and being able to get the island from Namor because he did help Namor deal with that problem. And so with that being done, you then have Magneto tell Emma Frost that she does have a new island. But on top of that, you then have Magneto use his powers as a way to construct a new tower just for Emma Frost on her brand new island that he was able to get from Namor. And when the tower is done, it looks amazing, man. It looks freaking amazing. On top of that, there is a Sentinel's face on the top of the tower, which is kind of cool. And of course, he does tell Emma Frost that she does now have an island. On top of that, she does have a tower now. And so after telling her all that, she does appear and she loves the island. She loves the place that Magneto was able to give to her. Now again, you didn't have Magneto say, what are you going to do with this island? And of course, you have Emma Frost say, listen, I can only tell you right now, I am going to send out invitations and that is it. And that is the only clue we get about what she is going to do with this island. And so with that note right there, this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. Also, if you have any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But guys, I'll see y'all next time. Later.